I think we got one. Here we go. Tell me what do you see when you're looking at me? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What I'm missing to be, what I'm destined to be. Whoa, whoa, from nothing to me living my dreams. I done been to the bottom, I done suffered a lot, I done deserve to be rich, headed straight to the top. Look how I'm rock for the block, look how I'm rep for the hood. I get nothing but love, man, when I come to the hood. Getting this fortune and fame, money make all of us change. The new Benz is all white, call it John McCain. How the hell did you stop me? Why in the world would you try? I go on forever, that's just how I'm designed, that's just how I was built. See the look in my eyes, you take all of this from me, and I'm still gonna survive. You get truth from me, but these rappers gon' lie. I'm a part of these streets till the day that I die. I went out of the haters, man, that I finally done made it. Take a look, and you can tell that I'm destined for greatness. Tell me what do you see when you're looking at me? Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm missing the beat, what I'm destined to be. Whoa, whoa, hey, it's harder to love me. Y'all don't understand. Y'all quicker to judge me. Put your foot in my life. Picture you living my life. Picture you stuck in the cell. Picture you wasting your life. Picture you facing a charge. Picture you beating the arms. Picture you willing to bleed. Picture you wearing the scar. Thank you for making me struggle. Thank you for making me grind. I'm perfecting my hustle. Tell me the world ain't mine. You've been seeing me lately. I'm a miracle baby. I refuse to lose. This was the ghetto today. I put that on my father. Trying to hope for tomorrow. When I think that I can, I envision Obama. I envision the diamonds. I envision Ferraris. If the world was perfect, all my niggas behind me. Ain't you happy I made it? Man, I'm making a statement. Take a look, and you can tell that I'm destined for greatness. Tell me what do you see when you're looking at me? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm missing the beat. What I'm missing the beat. Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa. I've been through the pain. Soldier, rider, and a survivor, and all the above. 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 All the
All right, all right, all right. Put those X's and glowers up. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for the State of the Melanin address. And we are going to be joined by some very special panel members today. Family, this is going to be a real one because we are discussing the Afghanistan, African Americans, and Africans today. We are discussing a famous quote by none other than Malcolm X, which is a nation can only rise as high as its woman. Okay. How much do we agree with that? Again, we want to remind the panel members, if you are not on the mic, if you are not giving your answer, you want to go ahead and mute yourself. I'm about to cam up. William, we lost you. Hopefully, you can come on back in. Let me do this. Someone's mic is very live. Okay. All right. Welcome, welcome. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Hey, Naima Saunders. Grand Rising to you as well. I see Cooking with Strangers in early. I'm trying to keep up between StreamYard and the chat. Everyone, you might check, make sure you can hear me okay. If not, I just have to float in from another device. Will be fine. Well, we gonna make it work today. We are not going to delay. Thank you so much, everyone, all of the panel members for joining us this morning. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself from the order that the order that you appeared on the panel, Brother Bakari, we haven't seen you in a second, so go ahead and update us on any projects you have going on, how people can find you, that sort of thing. And then Tommy T, we are going to allow you to go ahead and introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself. The interview, I don't know if you have been watching the numbers, but they have been getting that you've been getting such great responses from the interview. People really enjoyed that interview. So thank you so much for joining this very timely topic today, especially as it pertains to the United Nation. Okay, so on mute. Go ahead, Brother Bakari, introduce yourself, and then Brother Tommy T will. I'm going to go out and see what happened to our brother William, and we'll continue on down the line. I'm putting myself on mute. Remember, when you aren't talking, make sure you're muted up.
Is it on me? Well, if it's on me, I like to say, hey, everybody, I'm Tommy T, and I'm the self-published author of United Nigga Nation, uh, The Death of Racism. Unfortunately, I don't have the books with me to show. I've recently just sold out, so I'm waiting on my new shipment to come in. But I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, residing now in Florida, just trying to solidify a nation that Black people are instead of just focusing on the culture. And I'm happy to be on the panel today.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Tell them where they can find you. Website, email address. How can they contact you if they want to get a copy of the book? I'll put it up here. It as in addition to what you're saying, but just go ahead and tell people how they can contact you as well. Brother William,
Okay.
thank you. Welcome back. Make sure your mic is on mute. You'll be going after Brother Bakari. Brother Bakari, make sure that you're mic'd up because you're here, but I couldn't hear you if you were introducing yourself. So just make sure you're mic'd up. Brother Tom, they find you, and then Brother Bakari, you, and will be rounding up the intro section rather, and then we will go into our first topic.
Okay, great. Well, I'm available on Facebook underneath Tommy T, and that's Tommy like Hilfiger, T double E. And then on Instagram, you can find me at Tommy T UNN, and that's Tommy like Hilfiger, TEEUNN, and that's on Instagram. And my email is UnitedNNation, ASI at gmail.com. And if you're looking for my book, you can you can at least see a sample on Amazon. Just look up United Nigga Nation or Thomas Tolbert or The Death of Racism. It'll pop up either way. And I will have more books available soon if anyone is looking for an autographed copy. Thank you.
So it's on me now? Is it
Correct,
on me
Brother
now?
Bakari. It's on you. Yep, go
Uh,
ahead.
First, peace to everybody on the panel. Sister Courtney, thank you for inviting me. The brother who just spoke, I didn't get his name. And Brother Dukes, peace to everybody in the chat. This is Brother Bakari. Y'all can find me on YouTube at Brother Bakari. I don't do a whole lot of social media. So I can only be found, but I have my email, BakariPromising at gmail.com. BakariPromising at gmail.com. I'm a representative of Team Black. Hit me with that email, or if y'all ever want to know, y'all can check out my channel. I have an economic plan that I've been trying to get people to understand. Hopefully we can listen to it and we can understand what it is. You know, just $5 a month, 20,000 people, $5 a month. That's what you ask. That's $100,000 a month, 1.2 million a year, and we are able to do amazing things with $5. But at first, we got to start putting the money together so we can do things, so we can do big projects and build for our people inside of our community. So I yield my.
Okay, it's my turn. Hello, hello.
Correct. It's your turn.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
go ahead, Brother William.
Brother William Dukes, reside in Atlanta, Georgia. Got a little small organization called the Black Youth Congress. We are an economic program. We want to actually incorporate with my dear brother Bakari as well as Courtney. That's one of the things that Black Youth Congress push is to incorporate all of our entities. So, I can be found on email blackunity07 at gmail.com, or you can just call me directly. I do believe in a lot of social media, not combating my brother's viewpoint, because communication is where it starts. So if we don't communicate, even though our mouth be moving, that has to at some point turn into some action. But I do believe in a whole lot of social talking about what we're gonna do, but not over talking. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for inviting me in, uh, and thanks again. That's all I got.
All right. So we're going to go into what the first topic of the day is. But I didn't even do my due diligence introducing myself. I am Omega. I am a self student of Malcolm X, of course. If anyone wonders, yes, the MX does stand for Malcolm X Media Group. You can also become a member of Malcolm X Media Group. If you are interested, you can email me. That is Glow Up Omega. Or I'm sorry, that is my cash app. Excuse me, Group Glow Up. Group Glow Up at gmail.com. Oh, we got my Ace Boon Coon joining the panel. This is my sister by blood, as well as by revolution, as well as by spirit, the one and only Monica Delancey, coming out of Austell, Georgia. Monica, when you are able, when your mic is connected, okay, I want you to go ahead. Yes, introduce yourself, Monica. Let them know what projects you have working on, what projects you are working on currently, and where they can contact you and find you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm on the phone. Yes. So yes, Courtney and I are teaming up to do some statewide initiatives. We Thrive in Riverside Rental Association. Our main focus is helping renters navigate resources, but for the most part, we're trying to seek long-term solutions. Like Courtney always emphasized, we need land. We need land because the short-term solutions, helping somebody with the rent, is only helping the people that own the land. Okay, so basically, September is a month of action. We're doing different activities and events across nationwide because if you can't participate locally, you can join us virtually. You can join us through social media. But the most important thing when you know that it's not no renters' rights week of action, it's month of action, and that's where we are. I'm on my way to a parade downtown Austell, Georgia, right now. So if I get off cameras because I gotta get in the car and drive, I'm going to be listening. But I'm on my way down there now to pass out literature, pass out flyers, bring awareness out, and hopefully people join the movement. Because let me tell you something, um, people that's being mostly affected about with this rent is black women, Latino women. We're being forced out of our homes, and I'm going to leave with this. Just like Matthew Desmond said, he's a publicist. He wrote a book called Evicted. He said black women have evictions, black men have convictions. Thank you very much.
Can't hear you, Courtney.
F
Can't hear
that
you.
rent rally. Now, okay. Thank you, Brother Bakari. I want to also just add on to what Monica was saying. Uh, we are just really focusing on long term solutions. And so, for us to get to that point, we got to cut the short shit short. And we have to honestly say, F that rent. F that rent. Because, again, as she stated, rent only helps those who own the land. That's what they're sustaining. Rent is rooted in sharecropping, which is a derivative, as we know, directly of slavery. It was a way to keep black people, African descendants of slaves, committed and did to the land in which they lived on. So those days are gone because a lot of us don't even work and live in the same location. So again, F that rent. If you want to find out more information about the F that rent or the renters' rights of action month or the renters' rights of action month through Monica I say Gmail that as well and find out about the rent movement. Contact me. Again, I am group glow up at gmail.com. If you want to join the media group or if you want to help the panel, please. We do this the first Saturday of every month. Where we address our culture, our community, and as Brother Tommy would say, our nation. I'm going to give the first opportunity for response to Tommy T, since he is new to the panel as well as this layout. Understand the African and the African American people. What is going to be the effect, do you feel, of the culmination of the reality that there's already $500 million earmarked for the institution of Afghanistan immigrants that have fled from Afghanistan? What is going to be the effect on African Americans? We'll go in the order of just the way you appear. We'll go from Tommy to Brother Bakari to Brother William, and last but not least to Monica. And then on the next topic, we will go will go last first, because as we know, the last should be first and the first should be last. And I'm not just saying that because my name is Courtney Omega.
Can't hear you,
I'm
my
sorry.
man. You
I'm
must be
sorry. My
muted.
mic was muted. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, this is just a continuation of what's been going on. It's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. Exactly. I think historically, we understand when the immigrants from Ireland and all the European immigrants were brought over to America to utilize all the opening jobs that came with the Industrial Revolution. So now we are experiencing the technical revolution, so to speak. So this is just a continuation of it because we see a lot of black people able to get on their feet, so to speak, right now with technology and all of its enhancements. So another influx of what they call minorities to be put into the pot with the original minority, which is easily said black people, but it's just a continuation of what's been going in America to dilute its original sin of the enslaving entire nation. So that entire nation gets dropped down to an even lower grade because when America originally was created, it was the masters and the slaves. So it was the main two classes. We were number two class. Now, unfortunately, we have moved down to the number three class behind the Hispanics. So, with the immigration of more and more people coming, we're only working our way down the totem pole instead of up. Because in this country of majority and minority, we all know who the majority claims to be. But when it comes to power and wealth, we know who the majority is. So, with our power and wealth not multiplying or rising, we continue to go down on the totem pole. So I think this is just another assignment that is well understood for everybody else, and we just are the victim of it, so to speak. So it's nothing new. To sum up the answer, it's nothing new. It's just a continuation. But until we, like, it's so great to hear like-minded people to know that we have to have engines to drive us up, because if we just stay stagnant, we're getting short for words, we're just getting shitted on. So it's more poo coming our way with the influxation of the Afghans, and there's nothing against those people. I've met my fair share of them, and they're people just like anybody else trying to find their way. But understandably, we should be making them pay taxes to our territory because that's definitely where they're coming, and they're gonna vertically integrate while we still participate or fight to participate. So I should say. So, but like I said, it's not a shock to me that this is happening. It's just a continuation of the norm.
Did he pass the mic?
I passed the mic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I passed the mic.
Oh, okay. What impact will Afghanistan, what the United States is doing for Afghanistan, have on African people, for the Afghan refugees? In all honesty, nothing. It's going to be what impact we allow the Afghan refugees to have on us when they come into our community and open businesses, or when they come and want to take over the community and start building for themselves. This is nothing new. You go back and you look at study the Bosnian War from the 1990s. They did the same thing for Bosnia, and when they brought Bosnians here, I actually used to work for some, and I know some, and I knew them personally, and I saw everything that they got. Guaranteed a minimum of 2 credit cards with $10,000 limit on it. Don't have to make a payment to 2 years. Credit score up to 750 automatically. They could not get a job less than $20 an hour. Then all of them got a minimum of $25,000 cash, and they lived where they didn't have to pay rent for 2 years. I think we believe what United States do for other people is because the United States don't do for us. And most of our people been asking for reparations. Me, I'm not one of the reparations people because I'm tired of asking people to do something for me and that they have not done. So my thing is we have to make sure it doesn't have an impact on us. Could most of that been going to black people, the people that was already here, the people that was forced to work for free for all these years? Yes. But unfortunately for us, and fortunately for them, it didn't come to us. We were brought here as a underclass of people, right? And now what they have created is a permanent underclass. Everybody that come here is above black people, right? So what we have to do, we have to look in the mirror and say, what are we going to do for ourselves? How we are going to fix ourselves? How we are going to fix this situation? Uh, and for me, that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing for me is what are we going to do? How are we going to handle this? How are we going to stop foreigners, all these people coming in our community? And we have to stay focused. And what I mean by focused is we can't get on it black and brown together. You can't get on that. You have to remain focused. This is for black people. We working for black people. And that's what we have to do. We have to remain focused. We have to stop uh, bringing other people into what we're doing. And that's what I mean by how are we going to allow something like this to affect us? How are we going to allow it? We have to stop reaching our hand out to other people that will cut it off as soon as they get what they want from you, as soon as you're not needed. They show you how they feel, right? They show you how they feel. But we constantly reach out our hand and group other people's problems with our problem. And no one in this country have the problem that African people have, that this country has created for us. So we have to make sure that it don't affect us too much because we know they want to take from us. We know they want to take from us. So we have to stop it from affecting us too much. What are we going to do? That's my thoughts on it. I get the mic.
Okay. Well said, my brother. Well said. It's my turn. It's my turn, right? I'm at the Picari. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, brother Dukes, it on you.
Okay, I'm on a broken phone. That's a long story about this phone. Anyway, all right. Well said, brother Bakari. I'd like to say in my comment, in regards to the immigrants, is probably a short statement about them. Reason why it's short is because they have a sense of unity, and because they have a sense of unity, I believe that the problem they may have here is going to play itself out, and they're going to find solutions faster than we will. So I want to put a lot of time on commenting about us. So what are we going to do? Same thing that Brother Paul was saying. So I believe, and this is kind of like a message to all of us, our people. I believe that we should study the science of unity, what makes us come together, just like the enemy studied how to divide and conquer us, right? And he was successful. But now we have to be the ones who study how to unite, how to come together. So far I got one piece of the puzzle, and it's going to be more, of course, as long as I get others to study and figure it out with me. We should study day in and day out, just like the white man studied bombs and guns. We should study how to unite. So one of the things I realized is one of the keys that I found is we need to learn to join one another. So what I'm saying and joining one another is that we have an entity called the Black Youth Congress. We have a program, we have an agenda, and we planning on joining Sister Omega. We're going to join her. So give us a layout on what it takes to join you. And then we're going to join Brother Bakari. And and this is one of the things that we think is something wrong with. There's nothing wrong with it. That's matter of fact, that's where unity starts. That's where the power is going to start to show itself. And I believe the problem with us in my analysis of why we can't unite, because we're thinking that, we got our own thing. We want everybody to join us. That's not the attitude. Let's join each other. So joining each other don't mean like some church. This is where it came from. Sometimes in the church, I had this real experience too. In the church, I joined one church and I was going to join another church. I said, no, you can't do that. You got to join one church. I said, it was all church. So I go to this church Sunday and go to that church Sunday. Doesn't matter, do it. So that's really some kind of spirit that ain't right. But anyway, so we have to learn to join one another. So we just got to schedule it. It don't have to conflict with our schedule because I got an 11 o'clock appointment to meet here. But at the same time, joining one another is one of the puzzles. If you hear it with your spirit, this is how we start. I am ready. I'm a man of my word. I will join Bakari. Just give me a layout plan. Tell me what your schedule is. We'll work it out. I'll join you. I'll join Omega, Sister Omega. I'll join you. Just give me a layout. I'll join you. Black Youth Congress will join you, Bakari and Omega. So other organizations that's powerful, like the sister was saying, that she going out and pass out flyers, we'll join you. So that's what we got to learn to do so that the unity, the science of unity starts to actually play itself out in a practical sense. So we can start to really be practically united. So that's our problem. So this is what I think our problem is we don't analyze day in and day out what is stopping us from coming together. So that's one of the things I figured out. And please hear that part because I'm ready. I'm a man of my word. I'll join you, Bakari. I'll join you, Sister Omega. Just give me a layout, a schedule. I'll be on time and I'll be there. I'll rest my mic. Thank you very much.
I love that. Thank you so much. Monica, you are wrapping up this question. Well, I'll respond, but you can go ahead and wrap up as far as the panelists regarding the Afghanistan evacuation and the refugee situation. How is that going to affect, from your standpoint, from you working with families, from you working in communities that are, as we've been discussing, have been seeing a higher concentration of immigrant housing. How do you think this is going to directly affect the African American community that you're already serving there in Austell?
Oh, you know what? I'm trying to research this because I do know, like I told Courtney, just a whole town, um, Clarkston, Georgia, that um, have a high concentration of I guess they call it refugees from other country, right? But they occupy majority of the apartments in Clarkston, and the older apartments, and the landlords don't have trouble getting rent out of them. They're the most stable community, right? So I don't know if they're the most stable community because when they come over, they already have churches or organizations already ready to help them. And then if they have churches already ready to help them, they can occupy the apartments and don't have to worry about scraping up money to pay rent. So therefore, they're there. They're just they come in, they can build their families, work on their families, go to their jobs, go to their businesses, and this entire community, Clarkston, Georgia, you can look it up, and it has a lot of apartments in the area. So that is something to um, research on and say, okay, well, when refugees do come over, they're gonna find areas that's already set up, that's able to assist, that's able to help them get acclimated to the United States and start building their families up again. Thank you. And what we have to do is have our community set up as well to build up our families, our communities. I need to go park. Okay.
You know, I agree definitely with what is being said by everyone in regards to their responses. From Brother Bakari, from stating that it's not a question about what they're doing; it's a question about what we're going to allow. How we, it's not. It's about. It's on us. The onus is on us. As well as Brother Tommy, absolutely, wholeheartedly. I promise you, I think we've been reading from the same playbook right now, just to let you know what I'm reading. And I'm going to be ordering my copy very soon. And Brother Sir Senior, I can't wait till you get your copy of United Nigga Nation. But I'm reading African Americans by the Numbers by Glenn L. Starks. I'm gonna cam up so you guys can see this. But this is what is on my studying. So when I'm not TikToking, because I don't want to even come up here and lie, y'all. Yes, I'm trying to figure out the TikTok, and I'm still my Instagram, and I'm still posting on YouTube. But this is literally what I'm doing. I'm researching, I'm studying, I'm reading up because the answers absolutely the blueprint, the black print, as I like to say, it's in books. It's in books that are already there. How did I come up with the F the rent movement? People always want to ask me. Look, got that directly from Remembering Slavery. Got that directly from, okay? And y'all know last but not least, and if anybody ever wants to get any of these books, you know, suggestions or what have you, you can definitely email me. And people have been asking me about doing a book club, but people want to know what I'm reading, but then they don't want to read. So yeah, y'all know what it is. You know what it is. But maybe we can start that with this book, United Nigga Nation. As you know, last year we were 3 steps to end racism right now with our brother Palmetto Star, and that link is still available. So get it while it lasts. But I definitely agree wholeheartedly what the sentiment has been stated by everyone on this panel. We got to research, like Monica said. That's how we really come up with solid solutions, so that we are not just reactionary, as Just Us Hambricks has been saying. Y'all, Just Us Hambricks, you have been going off, okay, not off, but off in these comments, and I'm loving them. Like I'm finding myself getting very lost in those. But I do think the male female gender war thing, I think that is just nothing but a distraction. It really is. It is a distraction, and it is confused, because if you look at the numbers as far as who's getting married, as far as us getting married, as far as men in the home, that sort of thing, it's dipped. But yes, it's dipped, but it's very slight. And then the marriages are not that far off. They're not that far off. The same amount of people have been getting married are still getting married. So, we're talking about maybe like I think a 2%, and a 2% it can have a bigger impact depending on how small or big your community is, our neighborhood is, for what you experience in your day to day life. But in the grand scheme of things, in the collective, is not that far off. So people online with each other, quite honestly, a lot of them are going home significant others, and their significant others don't even know that they got this whole gender war going on, because they're going home and they're dealing with it. They still putting them legs up. Don't get me talking this morning, okay? They still putting them legs up, and then they still going around talking about how they divest. How? How? Divested? You still living in the same house? You still sucking on the same knob? You still in the bed with the same dude? And the dude may not be a quality dude, but you're, for lack of a better term, you're stuck with him. So you're not going nowhere. But online, you're divested. I've caught 2 people up in these type of lies. They're divested online, but in real time, they are in whole committed relationships. One was married, the other was been in a common law marriage for like 15 years, but online she's divested. Okay. Um, Also, of course, Black Youth Congress, Brother William, always, that's my ride or die there, right there. That is my ride or die there. He has given, just proof to what it means to say, call me up, I'll be there. And that does come with that first step of the commitment. And I mean, from everything from, hey, as you all know, the Colored Only Cafe, we how it glows down or how it goes down. It definitely is a village that supports that business. And there have been several times where, I have been able to literally rely on Black Youth Congress, Brother William, making sure that I was straight for an event. And he definitely makes sure that, he supports the business in that regard. Brother Bakari, same thing. When I couldn't make a meeting for, my sister up in the commissioner chambers, hey, I reached out to Brother Bakari, and he made sure he made it. So, that is honestly what it takes. That's honestly what it takes. The commitment starts first and foremost that, hey, I'm going to be there. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. And I want to also go on to further state that these men are both, they're men. I'm a female. So there's no gender war there. Even if we have had disagreements, which we have, we handle those disagreements. We talk it out. We discuss like adults, like we're supposed to, and then we move on as a united front. That's the same thing they do. They disagree all day, every day, but then when it's time for them to get something accomplished, they can move on together, and that's what we do. Okay. And of course, like, I again, I want us to not be distracted, but I still want us to be aware. Let me repeat that. I want us to not be distracted, but I still want us to be aware. We have got to understand what's happening. Brother Bakari just laid out some serious numbers and what is given to immigrants. I can also attest to that as someone who worked for the city government in Miami when I saw, two different communities, but same community residential kind of makeup. And it was two separate communities, but the same community makeup, and seeing what African American communities are given. You know what my children also just pointed out yesterday as well, that when they love living in Little Havana, when they live in Little Havana with my ex-husband shortly after our divorce. There is a really interesting rumor going on out there, and normally I don't address rumors, but that my ex-husband is not black. He is, and mind you that he definitely is black. I'm not out here Sean Kingin. Someone said I was out here Sean Kingin. And if my ex-husband was not black, for those of you all who've seen children, met children, I would have some questions to answer in regards to my ex-husband, not being black. So at any rate, but my children said that they loved living in Little Savannah. There was a party every weekend. There was a party. There was a parade. There was, that's the way they celebrate their culture, but they're also able to keep the economics flowing in their communities. What has happened to our communities that I remember, growing up, the Martin Luther King Day used to be really big, right? And then, like, the older that I got, the more it would just be in one community, and it wouldn't be in like an all kind of citywide type of celebration. This was also the reason why I so emphatic and excited to join in with Claim Malcolm X Day festivities, because I said absolutely. Not only should this be a local acknowledged or aware holiday, this should be an international holiday. Should even go beyond federal. This should be internationally recognized as a day of celebration, and this will go for everybody. And let me tell you, the main people that were so like confused as to, well, what does that mean that his day, or that his birth is going to be acknowledged? And that's claim Malcolm X Day. What does that mean? And I say, you claim Malcolm X Day, you don't wait to be told that it's a holiday. You take that day off. And there were so many people that would have their face screwed up talking about how they need their money. Y'all, that's also another thing that we need to get over, mentally. That whole idea that we can't have anything happen because we need these coins, y'all. Even with these coins, you still see how you're regarded. Brother Bakari can tell you. So this segues into our next topic, absolutely. The rise of women. Monica, I want you to kick off this topic if you still can. I know that you said you're at the parade or you're heading to the parade, so you can kick this off, and then if you have to jump off the panel, I definitely understand. But I want you to introduce this because you were saying that this has also been a campaign that that is being utilized to strengthen, to empower, and to inspire the next wave of Afghanistani women by saying, they have to empower their women. That's the way you empower a culture. So this is a culture that's totally being displaced, right? that has only lived. A lot of the Afghanistan immigrants that are coming over have only lived in Afghanistan. They have never lived in the United States. And so there's going to be a lot of interest in investing in the success of them to prove yet again to us that people can come over here and they can get these handouts. They'll say they're meager, but as Brother Bakari can share with you, that's major. To not have to pay rent for 2 years, that's major. To be given 25,000 to put towards your living, that's major. To be given 2 credit cards, to be given a good credit score, that's major. But they'll tell us that's meager. They'll tell us that we should do it without it. But anyway, I digress. Monica, tell us that quote and that campaign that you've been seeing, because the topic right now is why a nation can never rise higher than its woman. Okay, so first will be Monica, then we'll
Are
get
you talking about
Brother
the
William,
Matthew Desmond
then Brother
quote?
Corey, and Thomas.
Are you talking about the Matthew Desmond quote? Hello? Are you talking about the Matthew Desmond quote?
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, I nodded. I said yes, but I guess you couldn't see it. But yes, I'm talking about that. But you said you noticed that that's what they've been saying to kind of encourage and inspire and empower Afghanistani women. They're they're
I
putting
didn't know that.
their eggs basically in that basket.
I'm 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 sorry, you're staticky, but I don't want to keep going back to the Afghanistan because I'm really doing my research on that. Like I said, I'm researching the Clarkston community, how they were built up, and they were too. When I do my research about public housing, some of the public housing was for um evacuees. It was for people coming back from the war, right? So it is some similarities with that. But so I don't know anything other than that, the housing. But I do know that when the housing is strong and you have a strong foundation to build from, then there's only going to be impactful opportunities. When your foundation is weak and it's on 3 legs, 2 legs, and all you know is survival, then that's all that child is going to know. And then when that child becomes adult, that's all they're going to know. Because all they knew is that they had to move 10, 15 times before, and all they knew was, hey, their parents, when they started having kids, they couldn't live no more with their parents. So when they tried to move out and get them public housing, it wasn't available. So then that group of people becomes nomad. They become moving from state to state. So housing is the foundation for your health. Housing is the foundation for your academic career. And you have to have a strong foundation. There's no way around it. It's nowhere around it. And then when you have a strong foundation, then you build infrastructure. Then you connect other communities to other communities, just like Bakari and Omega said. But I can't be a strong connector if my foundation is weak. If my foundation is weak. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that.
Okay, perfect. And again, thank you, Monica, so much for being a voice for that community, for the community of Black women, especially as we have and are facing the highest and harshest of eviction situations. Monica has been to bat, going to toe. I would argue her whole life, because that's definitely how she has always been. But here in the Atlanta, Georgia, Austell community, she has been literally, over a decade, just given the work, given the business, and we thank you for that, Monica. So we are
Let me
at
just say this,
Black in
Courtney. Wait,
Congress. How?
Courtney.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I gotta say this. Let me just say that as adult raising kids on my own, having to pay rent and maintain is 14 years a track record in Austell, Georgia, and therefore, that's where the resource comes. 14 years strong with no support no government assistance, no significant other, paying the rent, and also being a part of the community and actually doing the painful things in the community and raising 2 kids. But I want to say the reason being is because the community where I reside was stereotyped because they had so many apartments. They thought that people that lived in apartments where everybody was receiving subsidies. And I had to tell them, no, those are lies. We're paying market rate rent. Okay? So that's and that came from and this is from so you have to listen, research. It came from when Cobb County is on the borderline of Fulton County, part of South Cobb. And when they started releasing those Section 8 vouchers, people that were living in the West End of Atlanta automatically came over to the south part of Cobb County. And then the apartment complexes started taking the Section 8 vouchers because their apartments were sitting empty because nobody was moving in, right? Because they were people that could pay the rent was moving to another part of Cobb County. They were going north, right? So people that was coming to the south part of Cobb County was either coming with the vouchers or, if you want to talk about immigrants, yeah, we had we have a high population of Hispanics. Yeah, we have a high population of foreigners. Yeah. So therefore, to make those landlords to recoup the money they were losing out on, they started taking those vouchers, and then those families who cousins that had the voucher wanted to live close by their cousins, so then they come in too, and then they can't keep up with the rent, right? They can't keep up with the rent, but they're thinking that, oh well, how come we can't get a break, whatever? So they don't understand that you have to pay market rate rent, and then when you have to pay market rate rent on $10 an hour, it becomes a problem. Okay, so there it is, and so here we are now looking for reparations, begging for this rental assistance for the short-term solution. That's where we are now in 2021 because of COVID. We have some rental assistance coming, but it's going to be gone. It's going to be gone very fast. It's already gone. People are already talking about they got $10,000 checks because they were behind a year. Then what you gonna do after that? So that's what I wanted to say, Courtney. I'm sorry I had to just come back and say that. Thank you again.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. We are definitely headed into an age where the recognition of our survival does absolutely depend on us recognizing the significance of us unifying. I agree with Cooking with Sir Senior, and I pinned that comment. If we can fix Black relationships, we can fix the Black housing stability. We can also fix the economic problems as well. That's right. Blacks in business, Blacks cohabiting, absolutely agreed. Black Youth Congress, we're back on you. I know your meeting is starting soon as well. If you want to go ahead and your response to the statement that a nation can only rise as high as this woman, agree or disagree? Why not? Go ahead. I can't hear you, Black Youth Congress. Brother William, if you were there. All right. We'll move right on to you, Brother Bakari, and then
I didn't
when
I didn't I didn't catch the question. I'm sorry. I didn't catch the question.
oh, okay. Perfect. So the question is the black woman, or this question that says the statement rather, I'm asking if you agree with it or disagree with it, why and why not, that states a nation can only rise as high as this woman.
That's
Why
right.
or why not? Do you agree or disagree with that statement?
I strongly agree. Could I comment? I strongly agree. And my comment on that is not only does nation rise or people, nations come out of a woman, but a man is not a man until he actually provides for the woman. So the man plays a role in making sure the family's good and taken care of and protected and provided. So that is the spiritual truth, a very strong truth. So yes, I agree. I don't know if you want me to continue commenting on it, but yes, definitely. When the family starts to get strong, the nation will get strong. So I rest my
I
mic because I got more
definitely
time.
appreciate that. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that sentiment. Bakari, if you want to go ahead and weigh in there, I appreciate it. I think that's a great segue, especially considering Cooking with Sir Senior's latest statement in regards to that. We fix these relationships, we fix the community, the culture, and as Brother Thomas T would tell us, the nation. Absolutely.
Do I believe the nation can rise? Only rise as far as the woman rise. That's yes, but the man and the woman have to rise together. But since we're speaking on the woman, yes, the woman is the first. Woman is the first teacher of the children. The woman is actually the first doctor that you see before you go to a hospital. It was your mother. My grandmama was old when I came along, but I hear other people saying, the grandmama, you at your grandmom's house. You get hurt, you could go see your mama, your grandmama. Like I said, they're your first teacher. They teaching you to talk, teaching you to walk. Uh, but our women can't rise as high as they should until the black man is in his proper place to make sure she's in a position to do the things that she's supposed to do. Instead of arguing with our women, we're supposed to make sure she's able to stay home with our children and teach them to talk, teach them to walk, teach them the things that we know that need to be taught when you put them in this public food system, public school system. Everybody can't afford private school. Everybody can't do the homeschool. And the reason we can't do the homeschool is because we haven't been put in, we know there's a lot of obstacles in our way, right? So, like I said, I'm the one, I don't blame people for what they do. Actually, I understand why they put us in a position that they put us in. I would do it too if it was me. I'm just being honest. I would do it to them. I'm gonna make sure you stay beneath me because that's why I bought you here, right? So instead of complaining about that, we are supposed to grind together and we are supposed to work together to make sure our woman can be home and teach our kids, right? The man, we want to be the head of the household, but our woman can't rise until she's not in the position where she's being forced to be the head of the household. She's being forced to be mother and father. So she can't rise completely the way she is supposed to rise. So there's a lot of resentment there because we have failed our women. We will let anyone come to our neighborhood and beat our women, do whatever to our women and our children. So once we are in our position, our woman will rise. And once our woman rise, you're right, the nation will completely rise because we need one another. They are the bringer of life. They are the bringers of life. When we couldn't afford to go to no hospital back in the day, it was our women that was delivering the baby. So once again, back to our women being our first doctors, our women being our first teachers, our women being everything. So yes, they have to rise in order for us to rise. So I'm going to yield the mic on that. But Courtney, I'm going to come back in on my phone because I have to take my daughter to work. But I'm going to come back in on my phone in a couple of minutes. All right.
Got it. Thank you so much. Brother Tommy T, what do you have to contribute to this topic that the nation can only rise as high as this woman? Agree or disagree? Why not? And I know you're en route to an event as well, to an engagement. So definitely thank you all for participating, even as we go throughout our day getting these meetings and these engagements started. Thank you again for being here.
Yes, I actually consider that statement a fact uh, because of history has shown us time and time again that from what the woman it comes the nation. So even when slavery was very active, it was a statement that was derived from Latin. I may get it off a little bit, but it's like per service, virtuous, or something like that. Basically, meaning from which comes the womb, from what comes from the woman is actually that. Basically, stating when the slave master impregnated the slave, if the child came from the slave mother, it was actually a slave. So no matter if the father was the master, it did not. It was still a slave. So with that being said, your statement is actually a fact. So as long as the woman is not the on top of the totem pole and dignified with all due respect and honored and able to be, as the brother said, like to be housewives and to nurture the kids instead of brutalizing the kids and being in competition with the kids, well, we are basically running in circles and spinning ourselves in circles. So we have to get back to upgrading the woman to being to getting the love from the men and the children that is due to them. And if we look at our society today, how we in general look at our women, I'm not saying the people on this panel, but in general how a woman is portrayed, the black woman specifically is portrayed, it is that of not of a nation builder, is that actually of a nation a wielder, like, so to speak. Like we do for everybody else. We're the nannies, we're the housekeepers, we're the showmanship, we're this, we're that, but it's not the hierarchy of the the old world where the woman was looked to for all advice and looked to give her blessings upon things. And even if you look at the animal kingdom, with the lion pride and stuff, how the females are upheld in the thing, and how the men are there to protect the women instead of fighting against the women. So we are in a counter struck with that, especially with the confusion of the sexes and everything. I don't want to get into all that, but just to sum up the answer, it's not actually a question what you're saying, it's actually a fact that the nation cannot progress no further than what the woman is able to provide. So I definitely uplift women in the utmost. I come from a strong family of women. My mother, my aunties, all that good stuff. I have a strong black wife. So it's not questionable on how I stand, but in order for it to be a majority thing, that's what we're working on. So it takes one to teach one. So one by one, we have to do this, and the best way to do it is by leading by example. So I'm showing the children in my family on how to uplift the women and provide for the women and make sure they don't have to stress and worry, and because that trickles down to the seeds. And if the seeds stress and worry, that's a continuation of the chaos. So I pass the mic.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your answers in regards to that. I wanted to respond to a couple of comments in the in the comment section. With cooking with Sir Senior, you're saying that women aren't taught to be women anymore. I think that that would absolutely depend on what women you're networking with and building with. I often hear this, from men, and they're saying most women. Excuse me, y'all, my water's in the other room. But again, they say that most women, and again, we don't want to talk in general terms because, quite honestly, you do not know most women. So I think you would have to say most women I know. And what happens there, something very funny happens there when you actually take that approach to your thinking, as opposed to saying most women. See, most women is broad, and that's just like saying that, what, out of every 10 women, this is what they are. But when you switch your approach and your thinking to saying most women I know, you realize that there's a common factor, and that common factor is you. So again, the other statement is most women, you don't even know them, and you're saying, hey, they're toxic. They're toxic masculine, fake toxic male identified. But when you come back over here and say most women I know, then you can understand and appreciate that you're the common factor. And trust me, I get it. I totally get it because I don't have a I don't have the stories of most men are da 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 da. Y'all know my story. I don't have that type of story, and Monica can tell you, as my sister, my actual blood sister, my ex husband was not no Dusty. He is not a Dusty. He was not a Dusty. He is not a Dusty. So I don't have those the same type of I think rhetoric that a lot of us have become very accustomed with. Oh, these dusty beta males. Da, da, da. I saw my ex-husband go from just saying, "Hey, I want to be a lawyer," to becoming a lawyer, to becoming a Mensa member, to the highest in the room, okay, to becoming one of the top 2% of scores received in the New York bar. And if anyone knows anything about legal, the New York bar and the California bar, the hardest bars in the nation, he was in top 2%. And yes, I was married to him. I was married to him. Met him when I was 17. We were married before I even graduated college, and we're 15 years together. So I get when we say, it's easy for me to say take the last. We've been divorced for 9 years now. For me to take the last 9 years of my life, and I've been single and abstinent the last 7 years. I had a relationship when we first got divorced, and uh, no, it's not about roasting. Cooking with Sarcina, I really, you know what? And I don't like to go down this road with you. That's why I said I'm offering you my own situation. Let's not make it about general. And I've always said that too. Let's make it specific. Specific. If that's the women then understand and appreciate you're the common denominator. Like I said, I know that that's hard to do because I've been single, I've been for the past 7 years. I've had a couple of dates, literally not even a couple. I've had one date. I went on one date that was to go see Black Panther when it came out. That's literally my only date in the past. Could I sit up here and say, these men are cheap and da 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 da? I could. But then, like I said, I'm kind of nominated there. It's not about these men being cheap. I mean, I'm not in a position that I'm networking with people uh of my best self. Let's just say that. I had blinders on when I was in. There were gentlemen that I did meet, other council people or other people that worked for the city. Honestly, type of men, and I don't do married men. Y'all know my stance on that. But the type of meeting that were quality married. I don't do married men. It's not like these married men were making a play for me. Not all of them. Some of them, yes. I realizing, what my dating coach actually put me on to this. She said, "You're still conducting yourself like a married woman. That's why you're not getting dates because you're still moving like a married woman." So what does that mean? That means I'm not myself out there. I'm not going to, the happy hours, the mixers, the networking. I'm not. I do conduct myself like a married woman. So I can't get upset that I'm not only attracting, but I'm attracted to married men. Again, never have done anything with no married man except for my husband. And like I said, I may have a problem just with husbands because I couldn't do much. Once we were married, things kind of, it's like I was missing some excitement. But I don't go after other people's husbands or other people's men. But I have to be aware of the energy that stop trying to act like I don't look beyond my own serious. That's what you are doing though. That's why I think when you say sir senior, that's why when you say women in general, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. You can't say that because you again are not meeting all women. So it's generalities, they hurt. They hurt. We have Brother Palmetto, my brother Palmetto, coming to the stream. He is just coming off of off of a nearly 3 month long fast, y'all. So he's just getting some bearings back in regards to his mobility um and his so don't look at the timing and think that this was he's just coming in when he wants to come in. um we get it. Hello, welcome, Brother Palmetto. I'm just finishing up this statement, and then we're gonna let you introduce yourself, what you're working on, and we're gonna move into the discussion part. So you got about another 20 minutes of this. But Sir Senior, I'm not doing this to dig, never. Like I said, I'm telling you from me, my personal. You can't. You're not going to attract to out of that zone. Sometimes things have changed for you to be there to be to realize that. But I just say, let's not generalize. Let's not say, again, say the people that I know, the women that I know, and then we can put it there. That you may interview, but again, that still is not most. That still is not most. It's just not. It's just not. There are a lot of women in the world. You still aren't, even if you interview a lot, it still isn't most. And I'm a journalist. I've traveled. I'm a journalist for real, degreed and everything. I've gone, done interviews, and I still haven't interviewed most. I can only really judge from my experiences. That's it. That's it. Okay, brother Palmetto, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we're going to open up the panel for anyone that wants to ask anybody a question here about anything that they've said for the past hour. Welcome again, and so glad you're joining. I'm going on off.
Black Supremacy, this is Palmetto Star, the Ratchet Revolutionary, but you can call me Prophet. I am the host of Two Raw for TV. I also just wrote 3 Steps to End Racism right now, working on some more material. And I am so excited to be part of this panel. Excuse the tardiness, you guys. Excuse the tardiness. I'm just, as Sister Courtney was saying, I did just finish a 62-day fast, liquid fast, where I did get dehydrated, extremely dehydrated in the midst of all of that. That's definitely not the excuse of why I'm here a little bit late today. I do a live during the morning as well, and I'm actually just getting off of that live. So I'm here to join y'all for the state of Melanin. So that's me in a very, 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 very short period. But yeah, just excited about it. Can you guys hear me clearly? Can I be clearly? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you guys
hear you clearly.
Okay.
Great, Palmetto. I'm
Okay.
so glad that you were able to join us because Thomas is here as well. Thomas is the author of the United Nigga Nation. And of course, you being the author of 3 Steps to right now, definitely you get together and link up. And when he's coming, I'm going to judge it like that. When he comes to Georgia, I'd love for us to get together at the village and definitely link up. So we have Brother Bakari rejoining.
And just, I don't know if this is just on my end. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be interrupting anybody, but I don't know if it's just on my end, but you're breaking up a little bit. Like, I hear you, but then it's like, it is breaking up a little bit.
Is everybody able to hear? Because I'm not hearing at this time.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. And well, I was here. I heard Courtney, but like I was saying, she was breaking up a little bit. But I heard what you said, Black Youth Congress, clearly.
Who turn is it to comment? Is it on Courtney or Brother Bakari? Can anybody else hear?
I can hear you.
Sister Omega, are you there? Can you hear us? Check everybody's mute. Let me throw in a food for thought while we wait. Iron sharpens iron. Men sharpen men. This is something we don't have. That's one of the problems that we face. If we live in a system who's designed to destroy men, there's no way in the world. Matter of fact, it's going to have a ripple effect on destroying the women. So if the men are being destroyed by being emasculated, the women are going to be destroyed by becoming masculine, which is unnatural. So that's all part of the divide and conquer system. So I like to say we have to see the core of the problem, the system. So instead of challenging the system or asking the system to give us reparations, you're asking the eagle to give the worm. You're the worm asking the eagle for justice and equality. You're the wolf. Ask. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was trying to make
Okay,
up
let
time.
me do this. So, I just wanted to say this because I saw a lot going on in the comment section, and we're not really sticking to topic. Sir Senior, as I always say, and I will still say again, if you aren't talking about something that is being said on the panel, definitely reach out to Just Us Handbricks personally. You know, maybe exchange emails. You know, I'm a big fan of that. I just don't want us to get sidetracked. As many of us on this panel, including myself, we have other engagements to get to. And, you know, I just want to be a respecter of time. So just as Handbricks and Cooking with Sir Senior, you all please, you know, exchange email addresses and, you know, get, you know, just definitely, you know, continue to have the dialogue. We're going to move the conversation again to anyone that has anything to say in regards to what has been said today on this panel. And just so you know, Brother Palmetto, so the agenda is in the description. We talked about three things today. We talked about the Afghanistan evacuation, how that is affecting Africans, African Americans, and our culture community. And as Brother Thomas P. would say, the nation. You will notice that Brother Thomas P. is on the panel. He is the author of United Nigga Nation. As I was stating earlier, I definitely want to get you two together. He's in Florida at right now. But when he does come to Georgia, I would definitely love us to all get together, being that we are published authors, that we do write, and we're working on building some things. So I definitely want to make sure you all made that connection as well. And I just really, again, want to thank everybody for being here. We're going to allow about 10 more minutes of discussion because, again, I have an engagement to get to. I know Thomas does. I know Monica does. You know, Black Youth Congress does. And again, if you're not speaking, please mute your mic just because it makes it, not have the background noise makes it a little better. Okay, so thank you. And I'm glad that you do. I'm glad that you do. And I do too. Don't get me wrong. I like me a good debate. I love me a good debate. But but we want to make sure that we are not getting too far off topic, or we're not sticking to a particular topic, just giving it a little bit more energy than I think that it really deserves right now. I love doing relationship conversations, but this just is not the only thing that we're talking about today, though it is absolutely significant to our nation building. having quality relations and relationships. I think that there are some differences of opinions with the relationship aspects that work for us individually. So with that being said, if anyone would like to comment on something that any panelists have said today, this is the time to do it. If you would like to, just us handbricks, I think from the moment we opened up, you have been coming with some fire statements in regards to what is needed to heal our culture and community and our nation. I would definitely welcome you to be involved in the next State of the Melanin address. Please make sure you email me. I emailed you a couple of weeks ago and I didn't get a response. So I want to make sure that, those communication lines are open. Because I think that what you're saying, what you're adding, what you're contributing is absolutely significant, and we can build on these comments together as well. So with that being said, because I know, again, Brother Palmetto, you just got on, but with that being said, I would love for you to recap, Brother Palmetto, the Black August, the month that we have just exited out of. The ending of your fast, but what I think, because I always ask you, I love the fact that you're so disciplined in your fast. What do you think? Every time I go on a fast, personally, I know I learn something different. I learn a new perspective. I get a different insight. How emphatic has the month of Black August this year been for you, with learning some new insight, and what have been the effects so far that you've noticed since breaking that fast? And thank you again for breaking that fast with Colored Only Cafe on Tuesday. We really appreciate it, the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, this particular fast, I learned to be more patient, if that's possible. Be more patient with our people, and also that even though you may forgiveness is not always blanket. There's not a blanket way to forgive people. So a lot of times, even if there's forgiveness, there's definitely need to enforce barriers or boundaries, I should say, not barriers, but boundaries, because there's even through that, there's definitely you need your boundaries, and we need to. One thing that I've learned is that you had to take care of yourself, because I never had suffered with dehydration. I've done a liquid fast several times during the course of my fasting journeys, and I had never suffered through dehydration. So I learned how you had to properly intake liquid. Even though I was drinking water, there's definitely a way to drink liquid, and there's no water, and there's no substitute for water. So that's one thing that I learned explicitly during this fast in particular.
Beautiful, beautiful. And go ahead and tell people where they can find you, Brother Palmetto, on your weekly podcast, your weekly show, as well as any contact information. And go ahead and plug your book as well.
Well, thank you. Well, you can find me on Instagram at you can call me Prophet. That's letter U. You can call me Prophet. Put all together. Too Raw for TV. We broadcast every Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. blogtalkradio.com/Too Raw for TV. That's TWORAW. The number 4. That's FOUR TV. Again, that's TWORAW FOUR TV. That's on blogtalkradio.com. And As far as the book is concerned, you could just hit the link in my bio on my Instagram on Melanated People on Palmetto Star. You could find me there and just hit the link in my bio. You can read it for absolutely free. I'm encouraging everybody to read it for free. However, as someone that has been deplatformed after being mentioned on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, I know the power of having tangible information that you could actually pass on without Mark Zuckerberg looking behind your shoulder saying, what is that? What is that? Or without it being not able to be reached by the algorithms. So I encourage everybody to get a hard copy. So email me at 3steps to end racism at Gmail, or you can just hit me in my inbox. On YouTube, I'm also go ENT12, or you could just hashtag 2RAW for TV, the number 2 RAW, the number 4 TV, and I will pop up, even though they try to take me out of that little hashtag. If you hashtag the number 2 RAW, the number 4 TV, I will be popping up. So yeah, thank you so much again, Sister Courtney.
Absolutely, no problem, no problem. I love what you're saying, just us handbricks, and I agree. I think that us getting back to the place our ancestors dwelled is where a lot of power still resides. I am where the power resides, where the power resides, where the power resides. I'm in the I'm in the midst right now of obtaining one of those properties, one of those said properties. And so again, I know I emailed you some info, but maybe refresh, check your email, because I did send you over some info in regards to that, and I didn't get a response back. So I just want to make sure that that line of communication is open. That honestly is my best way to communicate. So we're going to be closing out this power hour, as I like to say. We're going to let everyone give their closing thoughts, and we're going to let the newest addition to the panel give the wrap up totally. But I just want to, before I pass the mic to Brother Bakari, who was the first to appear on the panel, before I pass the mic to him, I want to say, what we plan and what we encourage and what MX Media Group is about is elevating the conversation, just regarding the highest in the room. We're elevating the conversation beyond the norm. That's what the commitment is. And we are into connecting beyond the borders. Literally. Like, I know people literally that they are here in Atlanta and they sit on these huge platforms. And I've never met them. Palmetto's never met them. Brother Bakari's never met them, personally. Y'all, we really got to start calling aces and spades spades. And y'all, again, we're in a shift. We're in a major shift where us unifying, it literally is life or death. It literally is. So let's stop this whole pretending that you can again have these online movements and not doing no real time work. We have to do the real time work, and that starts with the connection. And maybe sometimes the connection isn't as it may not be as we imagined it to be, but it still is needed in order for us to truly be able to build. Because it's the difference when you're actually, I'm experiencing that firsthand right now. When I tell people about, hey, this is the property that we're looking at. This is the area that we're looking at. It's such a difference when I bring people to the property than when I'm talking to them on the phone about it. Okay, when I bring them to the property, the checkbooks come out. But when we talking on the phone, it's like, hey, you need some gas money to get there. And yes, I need that too. But we really need investors right now to make this happen. So I would just encourage everyone to go beyond the boards, which may be out of your comfort zone, but go beyond your comfort zone to really connect with someone, to really organize, and mobilize. You've got to connect. You've got to connect physically. We're stronger that way. So absolutely. again, and I love what you just said, Brother Bakari. Yes, I'm sorry, just as Hamburg has said, it's going to take folks looking through different lenses. Absolutely. um. Okay. So I'm passing the mic on to Brother Bakari. And again, that I'm closing out. This will be the last you hear from me during this time. But just want to remind everyone to look beyond, go beyond the borders, out of your comfort level or your comfort zone, and connect and glow up by any means necessary. Y'all can see my shirt. Yeah. Y'all, we literally have one of these sweatshirts still remaining. If anybody wants it, please let me know. Winter is coming. Get one of these Malcolm X sweatshirts. Okay. All right. I'm going on mute. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Courtney. I don't know if y'all can hear me because this is a new headset on my phone. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
We
Thank you
can
for
hear you
allowing
fine.
me.
Same.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to speak on your panel. It was good to speak with Brother Dukes, Brother Palmetto came, and the other brother I can't remember, Tommy, I think his name was. Uh, appreciate the chat. I'm going to say this before I go on. I'm not going to be long. I want people to understand this when we talk about reparations, right? They have different groups out here: ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, Foundation of Black Americans. But I want you to understand something. We are descendants of slaves. Why would the descendants of slave owners, overseers, and straw boss give you anything to build yourself up? If they did that, it would make sense for them. They brought us here and created a great life for themselves off the backs of our ancestors. So instead of looking to them to give us something, we have to start looking inward and say internal reparations. When you spoke on Afghanistan in the beginning, how is that going to affect black people? Because they've got all this money set aside for them. It's not, because they were not planning to give. They're not taking anything from us giving to them. Maybe our tax dollars. I'm sorry, but other than that, they hadn't set anything aside from us to say we're going to give this to them. Those are slave owners working together. The Arab slave owner working with the European slave owner, and they're all enslaved African people. What we're going to have to do, we're going to have to be willing. I'm going to have to do another program about this on my channel. We're going to have to be willing to cross tribal lines or stop set tripping, as some may say. Moors and Hebrews and Christians and Muslims and Crips and Bloods and Aborigines and Pan African. I don't care. I'm Pan African, pro black Pan African with a revolutionary mindset. But I don't care what set you claim, because when they mess with me, they're not messing with me because I say I'm Pan African, because they don't know that. They are messing with me because of the color of my skin, of who I am. They don't know if you're a Hebrew or Moor. They don't know nothing. If every other race and ethnic group of people can put us together and group us together, why are we constantly fighting one another not to be put together? Are we trying to show massa that we are not the same, when massa and everybody who don't like you have put us together? Are we trying to show them that I'm not like Palmetto, I'm not like Courtney, I'm not like Tommy, I'm not like Bakari, I'm not like the people in the chat, so you should treat us different? It's time for men, black men, to stand up, look in the mirror, and say, we gonna make the change. We won't. We always argue, we want our women to follow us. Follow us where? Why in the hell would I tell either one of my daughters to follow some of these black men here? Follow them where? So the seniors say, be obedient. Obedient to what? Listen to what? Listen to a man who will let somebody come in your neighborhood and beat you and your children and don't move a muscle. If black men don't stand up and do what black men is supposed to do, we will never get out of this mess. We can continue to point the finger at the woman. The woman can continue to point the finger at the man. But once the black man stand up and put ourselves in proper position, what we're supposed to do, our women will be there with us and they will be loyal and they will ride and die with us. I'm sick of weakness. I despise weakness and cowardice. I'm going to say that, Sister Courtney, once again, thank you. My channel is Brother Bakari. I put my email and my channel in the chat. If anybody want to email me, if anybody want to listen to my channel, if I said something interesting, go smash the subscribe button and the notification bell. But once again, Courtney, thank you. Peace and one love.
Wait a minute, Brother Bakari, you got to say your signature line. Bye, Black. Come on back. I gotta hear it.
Be black, buy black, think black, love black. Everything else will take care of itself. Peace and one love.
Yes, come on, love it. Let's see, who do we still have on? We have William. Okay, Brother William,
Yes,
you can give your closing
yes.
statement, and then we're gonna let Brother Palmetto take us out today.
Okay. Thank you again for inviting me, Sister Courtney. You are a dear sister beyond measure. I do want to make an impression that I made earlier, and I'm gonna keep saying this because I believe this is one of our solutions. We must learn to join one another. So we're not like the church. I say that because that's like a religious spirit, a spirit that says, well, you at this church, don't join that church, go to that church. But at the same time, I think, could y'all hear me? Could you hear me? I got an
Oh yes,
interruption
we
from.
can hear you. We can
Can you
hear you
hear me?
fine.
Okay. I got an interruption from a call, and I blocked them off, but now I can hear them. Okay. Anyway, so we are political and economical and cultural. So let's join one another. Now, I'm a man of my word. Courtney, you call me. Bakari, you call me. Anybody that have a black developing entity, call me, and I'll join you. I will join you. But I just got to set up a schedule, make sure the schedule is not conflicting. Other than that, we're doing the same. We have the same mindset, and we need one another. So I will join you. I'm a man of my word. So, in closing, I'd like to say thank you again for inviting me in. You can find me. You can email me at blackunity07@gmail.com, or you can contact me through Courtney Omega. Black Youth Congress, a program that's very similar to what Bakari is doing and very inspirational, just like Sister Omega is doing. So we have to become one. We have to become one. Thank you, and I close my mic. Thank you again. I love everybody for allowing me on. And I close my mic. Thank you very much. Wow, be black. I'm sorry, my closing. Be black, think black, and all else solve his own problems.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brother William. Always a pleasure. I wanted to say hello to a couple of people that have joined the chat, and then we're going to let you take us out today. Brother Palmetto, thank you again. Guy Nollywood Jr., welcome. Snuggle 668, absolutely. Thank you both for joining the chat.
Well, I appreciate everybody. Definitely look forward to linking with everybody because it is more important now than ever for us to connect on every possible level, and really make things happen, really put some boots on the ground and make things happen. We are doing that out here in Atlantis, aka Atlanta. So we are doing that actively every single day. That's what I'm doing every single day. So, just connect with us and look forward to connecting with everybody further. Hit me up on Instagram at You Can Call Me Prophet. You can hit me up there. You can hit me up on TikTok as well at You can call me Prophet. So just let's connect. Let's go beyond YouTube, beyond Mark Zuckerberg's reach, beyond these algorithms, beyond any of these social media platforms. Of course, download melanatedpeople.net and get on that. Paul Meadow Star on there as well. And I just let's connect and let's make this happen, because the only thing that is stopping us is us, and we're not stopping anything out here in Atlanta. I promise you that there is nothing that is stopping us in Atlanta, and we are showing and proving that every single day. So I'm inviting everybody to join us, and I just want to say, of course, in the words of my nation, Black supremacy.
Oh, great. I'm going to add Thomas back to the stream so he can actually have the final word as the newest addition to the panel today. Thank you so much again, Brother Thomas. It's on you. You'll be closing us out. I thought Palmetto was, but I'm glad you came back because you're the newest addition to the panel. So to be able to close us out is definitely appreciated. But you know what? I'm just going to say something real quick before I segue. Brother Palmetto is right about that. Let me tell you, since literally I've gotten to Atlanta, just have hit the ground running, just have had the most productive, effective, inspiring, and empowering of connection. I was in Miami for almost a whole decade, right? I was an elected official, whole decade. Within 6 months here, and Brother Palmetto can tell you, within 6 months here, because he's known me about 9 years. He knew me from the time I moved back down to Miami, the whole nine. But within 6 months of being back here in Atlanta, like it's magical. It's magical. The opportunities that I've been connecting to, the network, the people that he's connected me to, that we've been able to just really spearhead some things. Um, I'm not saying get to Atlanta, but get to Atlanta. All right, I'm going back on. I'm going back on mute. Go ahead, Tommy T, take us out. And to everyone that joined us this morning, thank you so much for spending your morning with MX Media Group, and we'll see you at the next.
All right. Thanks for the opportunity to end out. I feel honored because it was such a great panel. I actually got some good insight and learned a few things. And shout out to Brother Palmetto. It definitely sounds like we're on the same page. Um, and it's funny because where I live, Palmetto is a city, like right next to where I stay in Palmetto, Florida. I don't know if you knew it existed or not, but it's a great place too. It's like a little small town, but it's a lovely place. But on an ending note, like I said, my book is the United Nigga Nation: The Death of Racism. So I know earlier in the conversation, a brother had mentioned how the influx of these other the first question was with the Afghanis Afghans coming to America, how would that in fact affect us? But one thing we're already acknowledging is their nationality. So within having the nationality comes the open resources that can allocate one's entire nation. So that's why I took it upon myself instead of waiting, because it seems like my whole life I was waiting on something instead of doing it myself. So what I see as Black people, we are a nation. Uh, we're not we're not as considered just American. We're Black Americans. So that solidifies us as a nation. And once we come underneath that conglomerate as a nation, we have so much opportunity within that. And Atlanta has been a pivotal city ever since the Civil War, because once Atlanta was taken, the Union actually knew they had pretty much won the war. So that's why Atlanta is so pivotal in this new economic revolution in order for us to embark on our true destiny of being the last being first and everything coming to fruition that all the ancestors and the great minds of the past have already alluded to and predicted. So this is the time of bringing all that to fruition. So I'm about done with my ideas with that. So to end the show off properly, I just like to shout everybody out. One thing that I do personally is I just say peace, love, and happiness. And what's 1+1? Deuces. Peace out.